Hello there. How are you? My name's Cian, which obviously by the slide you all know that. So, I was born to a family of hobbits just off the coast of Saudi Arabia on a small island named Bahrain. And on the side note, I am the tallest, so go figure. Lucky me, I guess. So who am I? It's a pretty big question and something I know I'll probably mess up, but alas, here we go. As I mentioned, my sister and I grew up in Bahrain with my folks, who as of last year escaped the heat after 47 years to retire to the back arse of nowhere in North Cork, Newmarket. I was shipped off to school in Dublin at the age of 11, and to be honest, I was a cheeky little shite. And I don't think that has anything to do with anything, but I do think it definitely shaped me down the line. I hadn't a clue what I wanted to do, like absolutely no ideas. So like any good Irish person, I left and I moved to Australia. I ended up doing a full year sat outside the likes of Spar or Tesco, all around Victoria, getting people signed up to charity. It was 100% commission based, and before you all ask, 100% of the money did actually go to the charity, so my morals remained intact. In my opinion, this is definitely the coldest selling environment. I know I was talking to someone earlier, and he actually serendipitously worked in the same company as myself. No one woke up going, I'd love to sign up to charity. So yeah, I absolutely loved it. I was chatting to people from all walks of life, all day. The only downside was I did absolutely no travel around Australia. But in fact, it gave me great stead for what was next. What are you doing now? I run a tech business both here in Ireland and also in Bahrain, and we're just about to launch our own software platform, which we're obviously pretty excited about. We've grown from strength to strength and are currently turning over a few million a year now. As much as I enjoy standing outside the Australian sun, mugging people for the greater good, it was time for me to look for greener pastures. I think the typical move for people within the direct sales industry is basically recruitment. Not one person, as I mentioned there, same goes with recruitment, not one person woke up in the morning going, fuck, I'd love to be in recruitment. And again, that goes for charity mugging. I started with a great agency in Dublin on June 21st, 2017. And 4 years to the day, 4 years to the day with the idea of going out on my own, I did that basically. To be honest, there was never a point where I said I could do this better than them. There was literally never a point. This actually might sound a bit mad, but I was playing in my friend's annual football golf. And I was paired with the same people I was the year before. And as most of my mates will know, I absolutely love talking shop. And the lads and the people I was paired off with the year before were like, oh, Cian, what are you up to? And I was like, oh, I'm actually about to start my own agency. And they're like, you said that last year. So that was it. I set up 9 dots from my parents' kitchen table. I had €20,000 at the beginning of the summer. And when I started in September 2017, exactly this time 6 years ago, I had €5,000 left. It was perfect. I remember it quite fondly. When I was just a one-man band, my dad and I went off to Delphi. Obviously, like I didn't have to report to anyone, so I was like, yeah, fuck it, we'll go to Delphi. And we'd had quite a heavy few nights. And I remember one of the mornings, my dad and I was like, should we go check your emails? Like, and I was like, yeah, we might as well. Like, so, so we found the one spot in Delphi that actually gets reception. And I actually received 2 offers that morning. So basically, yeah, obviously I was buzzing, but it kind of made me feel, I was like, right, well then, if I can do this while fishing, it was meant to be. Fast forward a few years. Yeah. No, am I skipping? Have I just fucked this up? I think I have. Sorry, 2 seconds. Yeah, fast forward a few years. I didn't know. I think I've just copied and pasted that. Excuse me. Um, oh yeah, sorry, that is right. Fast forward a few years. I actually went to college and I did business and management, which now is obviously relevant to what I do. I think I'm more focused on the actual meeting people side of things rather than the academia. But hey ho, I love people and I always have. So socializing and being out became one of my fortes. I was really, really good at it. Who am I kidding? I'm actually class at it still. So moving forward, I figured stockbroking would be my ideal job. And I'm delighted I didn't go down that route. My liver would be in tatters and my life would be pretty much in tatters as well. So why do I love it? More often than not, when you tell people you're a recruiter, you're about as welcome as a fart in a spacesuit. And I wanted to change that. I absolutely love what the team and I have created. We care about what we do. And I think, more importantly, we have fun while we do it. We're not a KPI-driven company, but it's a business at the end of the day, so you have to stand to... it's basically our brand is paramount to exactly what we do, so standing by what we say we'll do is really important. I find a lot of time in recruitment, there's an element of cowboyness or skullduggery. So I'd like to think that we're the antithesis, I nailed it, of this. Thank you. Yeah. I had a problem with that word. I won't. Lastly, I'm not looking for small violins or anything like that. I've had, over the years, I suppose, a good bit of imposter syndrome, as I suppose I'm a bit of a weird dude, and weird isn't always accepted. So the fact I've not had to change who I am at all is a massive thing for me. Everyone I've actually hired is somewhat of the same ilk. We're all weird in our own right, and that's something we embrace. I suppose individuality, we'll call it. In my eyes, there are no stupid ideas. We have the freedom. There are no stupid ideas. Everyone has a voice. Given that we're a small business, I'm just like, yeah, fuck it, let's try it. And like sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. But the fact that we do have that freedom, being small, definitely certainly helps. How I ended up here, hustling. Well, hustling might not be the word, but yeah, I worked hard, I guess. Business development has always been one of my fortes. As I mentioned before, I went out a lot. And when I'm chatting to people, I listen, or at least I try to. ADHD doesn't help, squirrel. But yeah, like what I'm saying is I actually give a shit about what people are doing and what they're about. As I mentioned, it was after the football golf that I realized I needed to shit or get off the pot. And to be honest, I had no idea where to start. One of my best pals, Conor O'Toole, knew the ins and outs of setting up a business, and so I've basically leaned on him extremely heavily. He did everything for me. No, I'm joking. He was definitely instrumental to helping me get to where we are. He helped me set up a limited company, advised me on accountants, and I'll mention it later, but like, yeah, get a good accountant. I've been through quite a few, and that's not to do with me. He helped me set up a limited company, as mentioned. So yeah, and also I love tools and automation, anything to make our jobs easier. It's taken us a long time to get where we are, and it's been a constant iteration, thanks to the team back there as well. But yeah, I'd like to think that most of our processes are pretty silky smooth now. We didn't actually have a website for the first 11 months of starting. I remember chatting to clients and pretty much anyone who'd listen, and they'd be like, why don't you have a website? And I was like, we don't need one. It turns out you're not a real business if you don't have a window to your shop. But we did actually all right in the first year, so go figure. Again, I do think if you do right by people, people will remember it. So with the companies we work with, and I think the people that we've worked with, that's definitely shone through. And I think that's why the business has snowballed the way it has. Unofficially, treat people like people is our tagline. At the end of the day, anyone who has a job, when they go home, they would talk to you like their mate, And I think that's how you should talk to people in business. You don't like put on a grandiose voice or anything like that. People can kind of see through that. So the last thing I will say, sorry, have I? Yeah. The last thing I will say is we've done it our way. We've not overhired. Sorry, you're right. The last thing I will say is, yeah, we've done it our way. We've not overhired. We've never need to, a lot of companies you'll see will kind of try to aggrandize themselves by hiring as many people as possible. But like, if you don't have the work, that doesn't make sense. So if you look at last year in the tech sector, I think you'll probably see exactly that. So we've hired sustainably, should we say. My advice, I know I touched it off earlier, but definitely get a good accountant. I'm not good at that sort of thing, so leave it to them. Work on the business and not in it. Secondly, lean on people that you know. People want to see you do well. So if your friend or connection is specialised in something or has done something before, they'd love nothing more to show you how they would actually do it. And lastly, I know it's definitely a cliche, but I definitely believe in it. Be yourself. Be comfortable in your own skin. Don't change who you are when doing business, unless you're an asshole. Change that. But yeah, I think that would be my advice. People are kind of wired to the fact that again, if you're overselling or you're not actually yourself, the days of the dinosaurs are dead. So yeah, definitely do it your way. People can see through that phoniness a mile away. So being genuine goes a long way. Cheers.